Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So the Washington Post is trying to help launder Brian Thompson's image. Before I jump into these details, I wanted to share, if you haven't heard this in other videos yet, if you're watching this on the platform with the initials TT, I am no longer going to be there after the end of this month. I'm going to be exclusively posting on the platform, the video platform with the initials YT. If you want to continue following me and you like my content, you can catch it over on YT. You can search for Raw News and Politics. So here's the deal. Here's what Washington Post is up to. So they just did what amounts to a puff piece about this Brian Thompson, who, for those who don't know, if you've been living on another planet, he is the United Healthcare CEO who was shot and killed earlier this month. And by and large, the public gave a collective shrug. The people who knew about it, just because of the unconscionable practices of all quote unquote healthcare companies in the US, but especially United Healthcare. So the Washington Post claims that Thompson was very concerned about United Healthcare's public image. And they tried to frame it as Thompson being aware and wanting to change things. Well, they included a very telling quote that was attributed to a source who allegedly spoke with Thompson prior to his death. So this person told the Washington Post, quote, "He understood that the public was frustrated with what they perceived the company's actions to be. He was actively articulating a vision that helped better educate and help people better understand what the company is doing." I do not think it means what they think it means. So the public was frustrated with what they perceive the company's actions to be? Really? As the saying goes, facts are stubborn things, right? I mean, the public didn't perceive that United Healthcare was denying 1/3 of all of the claims they received. They are denying 1/3 of all of the claims that come in. The public doesn't perceive that health insurance is astronomically high, that is god-awful expensive, and that every year these greedy insurance companies raise the price and the deductibles and the copays while simultaneously cutting benefits. The public doesn't perceive that health insurance executives are grotesquely overpaid, that their main objective is to cut costs to make their shareholders happy so that they can further increase their obscene salaries and bonuses. These are facts. These are things that are actually happening. And did you catch the sentence at the end there? In this person's telling, Thompson was trying to help people understand what the company is doing. This is like the person who doesn't apologize when they've done something that hurts somebody else. And they try to make it out like the other person is wrong for feeling hurt. They'll say something like, "Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way." Not "I'm sorry for what I did," not "I apologize for hurting you." No, "I'm sorry you feel that way." So in other words, now it's causing me grief. Now I have to deal with your totally inaccurate feelings. So even this source, this obviously is someone who wants to gin up sympathy for Thompson, right? They're trying to humanize him. Even this person admits that Thompson wasn't trying to change anything. He wasn't trying to change how they do business. He wasn't trying to make it better for the patients, to save lives, to give the best care possible. No, Thompson's goal was to change the perception of the public. So essentially, he wanted to gaslight all of us. He wanted all of us to believe United Healthcare is doing what's best, what's right? Even though we mere mortals, With our pea brains, we can't possibly wrap our heads around it, but they must know better, right? They're the wealthy, they're the elites, they're in charge. And then further down in the article, the Washington Post highlights the juxtaposition between Thompson's humble upbringing versus Mangione's privileged life. They don't put it in those terms, but it's very clear that that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to frame it like, their intention is to elicit sympathy or empathy for Thompson while trying to paint Mangione as this spoiled elitist. To me, this just proves how much Brian Thompson lost his way, how much he lost his humanity in his, I don't know, I guess his pursuit of wealth, of power, a position of authority, right? Thompson, given his upbringing, he should have been the one fighting for average Americans. He should have been the champion for patients and tried to change the system from the inside. Instead, no, he gladly took his $10 million a year salary and put profits over people. If anything, the dichotomy between the two men's history and upbringing shows that Mangione, despite his privilege, actually cared about those who were less fortunate. And for anyone who's right now tippy-tapping with your fingers, you're leaving me a scathing comment about how I'm justifying murder, don't waste your energy. As I said to another commenter, murder is wrong, okay? We all stipulate to that. And guess what? It's wrong even when you do it with a ballpoint pen. That's just a fact. Whether you are removed from that murder, allowing people to die, as Brian Thompson has been accused of, and I would love for someone to dig into the stats and the facts. Someone who has a team and who has the time to see what policies he put in place and how they directly affected patients. So again, not right when you do it with a gun, not right when you do it with a pen. But, I would say sitting behind a desk and callously signing documents, drafting, laws or rules for your company and dictating whether or not you're going to provide care to people, and how you're going to dispose of claims for no reason. And there's been whistleblowers that have come out, which I will share with you guys in an upcoming video. But there was a whistleblower who spoke with Status Quo. You guys know I'm a fan of their show. And she worked at United Healthcare. And yeah, they were callously just dismissing claims. And they had quotas. People who worked at the company had quotas. And you had to hit a certain number of denials. Not approvals, denials. To stay in good graces, to keep your job and be looked at as a, quality employee. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. All right, I will let you guys know when I hear more. As I said, I will share more on that whistleblower in future videos. Please like this video. Please share it with other people so they understand the truth of what's going on here and why, like I said, why people by and large are like, well, people got on Senator Elizabeth Warren for saying, you can only push people so far for so long. That is true. That is very true. And protesting obviously doesn't do any good. We've protested in this country over and over and over again. People lodge their complaints. People try to vote in new representatives. Nothing changes. I mean, what do they think is going to happen when you keep your neck or when you keep your boot on the neck of people for so long? You know, you can only kick a dog so many times before it turns around and bites you. All right, as I said, please like this video, please share it, become a subscriber if you have not, please donate if you possibly can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.